So for the issue with the shocks, I got these off of, found them on Amazon, and then I found the company that sells them is actually not that far from where I live, called 4into1, but they sell a lot of classic Honda stuff. So these were only like 40 bucks for the pair, but they should fit good. There's your bushing.
Oh, nice bushing.
What is it? It's like tire tube-ish.
It's like the... It's not like what we use in garlic.
Upgrade.
Upgrade.
Alright, this bolt.
Sorry.
Thread they're all rounded off. The threads are messed up here, so I don't have a die, so we got a nut that's the same size for the threads, so we're just gonna run it back and forth and see if we can clean it up a little bit. This other nut that was on here was just incorrect threads, and it was just forced on. 14. Oh, that actually goes on quite easy. Feels better. You do it by hand now. Definitely working. Getting a little junk in there, so we'll clean it. Threads definitely don't look good.
Today.
The other one's not flanged. Do you have another one like that one?
Yeah. Doesn't look good, but it'll work. And the nut in the bolt bucket that's like the other side. Oh, it seems like we're just working the threads in the nut instead of on the studs, so the studs just working the nut in. Bounce test it. Doesn't feel like it throws me off anymore, it just kind of stops.
Oh yeah, there's suspension now.
Yeah. This gas cap's leaking. The seal is bad. So I bought a new gas cap because they were only $5. But I think it should be black. Towel with the most lint I could possibly find. And then self-etching primer that I found in the back that's years old. And then trim black because it's the highest quality black paint that I have. The other stuff's all like $1 cans. kind of liking the black and white theme, so maybe we will continue with that. So if you look at it from the back, you can see, well, this fender is like pushed to the right. You can see the center line on the triple tree there, and the tires in the middle of the bike, and the fender's over to the right, so that needs to be fixed. But also the foot pegs. This one looks about right. This one's bent up, so I want to fix that right now. Uh-oh, looks like the kickstand is part of the pegs. So I'm gonna figure out a way to hold the bike up. Right, you can see the bend in it. It's right about there. Should be flat. I'm gonna try to get that out. That's pretty close. This is just a cheap $1 black gloss. I just want to paint this so it doesn't rust, but it's just going to get beat up, so I don't use a good paint on it. It's better. That right side is angled down just a slight bit. But I like how it is now. Also got these peg rubber for it. You know, the hole's decent size. Definitely not gonna be able to put it on dry, but my dad said that this is just how they go on. You just lubricate it, and there's nothing to stop it coming off other than it sticks on there. So I'm gonna try some hairspray, since when it dries it'll be like glue. I didn't find any hairspray, but I found some mousse. So let's see if we can make this work. It's definitely on there. I made a mess. I feel like that works pretty good. I'm getting kind of tired of sitting on the floor working on this thing. So I picked up some pallets from work. Probably got a little too much, but I'm gonna try to build a motorcycle workbench so you can lift it off the floor a little bit. All right, so here's the pallets. These are not normal pallets. These are solar panel pallets. So when companies order solar panels don't fit on a standard size pallet. So these are a little bit larger, more heavy duty. You can see the top slats are like full on 2x6s. The verticals are 2x4s. The bottoms are standard pallet wood, but these are a bit stronger than the normal pallets, a bit bigger. 68 inches by like 41 and a quarter. I think I'm gonna cut them down so they're not the full width to about there. So that's 26.5 inch. Just saw it down there. And then we'll have this section for the motorcycle. I'm not really sure how tall I want it. Like, I'm used to working on cars up high, but it seems like people build these things a little shorter. So maybe I'll try it up high first and then take it down later. It's also, it's long enough for like SL100, but it's probably not long enough for this. We'll have to see when we get it on there. It's a CRF 250 rally, but I can always add on the back of it. I have a project later that I kind of want to use a gold wing for, so this, I mean, definitely wouldn't lengthwise fit on this, but I think I could make it longer later if needed. It wouldn't be that hard. All right, so that pallet is barely long enough to fit the SL100. So small bikes only on a single pallet. I'll have to add some to this for larger bikes, but that's okay. This is the one I want to work on right now. Okay, it's next day. I've been cutting up the rest of the pallets. I decided I'll just make it longer right now so I don't have to deal with it later. It's almost 8 feet long total, and then we'll have one full pallet and then one of the extra pieces behind it, and then this next full pallet underneath here and one of the extra pieces in front, so they're kind of swapped and it's not just a block hanging off the back. And then I've got those 3 pallets, which are slightly different. These are 2x6 on top, and then these pallets are 2x4 on top, and the center spacing is slightly different, so they don't fit up with these exactly right. But these 3 2x6 pallets will make up the top 2 layers of the motorcycle stand. All right, so I have a giant mess to clean up, but it's here. First impressions is it's way too heavy. I can barely flip it by myself. I could definitely have done it with a lot less wood. The pallets were free though, so that is a plus. I don't know. If I wanted to be free, this is the way, but if I was gonna put some money into it, I'd definitely build it a lot lighter. It's just under 2 feet. I like the height right now. Almost impossible to move it around. Maybe I can come up with some, like a wheel kind of system, but it doesn't need to move for now. And the little bike, I should be able to get the little bike onto it by myself, but anything bigger than that, it's gonna be a 2-person job to get it up there. But for free, the wheel chock we already had, and I've got a bigger wheel chock I could put on there for a bigger bike. And got some little tie down strap locations. And I got a couple more if I want to put some on the sides to tie it down via pegs. So I'm gonna clean all this up. Never used one of these before. I'm not really sure where people usually tie them down, if it's pegs or the bars. I suppose it just depends on what you're working on. Well, I'm not sure if I'll leave it like that. If I could maybe find a way to run the tie down just over the tire so the suspension isn't compressed, maybe that would be good. Or maybe an actual like motorcycle stand underneath and then tie it there so it's just held by the frame and the pegs. and the suspension would be free to work on. So a couple different options, but I like it. It's a good height. I can reach it to all the controls easily, and I can still work on all the engine stuff easily. So 2 feet is right where I would put it if I did it again. Uh-oh. All right, I'll see you later.